Many business owners believe that selling is too hard. In fact, many people hate sales because they believe that selling is too hard. But after a decade of doing sales, I'm here to submit to you that selling can be super easy if you understand this one concept I'm going to talk to you about in this video today. So if you are interested, let's jump in. So the number one reason why many people are not able to sell or find selling to be too difficult is because usually they're thinking too much about themselves rather than about the customer or the prospect that they're trying to sell to. Now, sales is not convincing. When we say sales, sales is about helping someone to make a decision that they already want to make. So when you're convincing, what you're doing is you're trying to get the person to buy based on your reasons. So you want to make the sale, you want their money, and that is why you're convincing them. But sales is actually persuasion, which means that you are getting them to buy based on their own reasons. So people already want to buy stuff. People already want to resolve problems. They want to overcome obstacles in their way. So all that you're doing in sales is trying to understand their goals, what they want to achieve, and then you help them make a decision that serves them best. And that is what sales is about. So you'd find that in this video, I say, care more, and then you're going to be able to sell more. So care more about what? Now you need to care about 4 pillars or 4 main things if you want to be able to sell better and sell more. The first one is care more about their world and not their wallets. Care more about their world and not their wallets. So care more about their world, not their wallets. Now, what does this mean? Care more about their world and not their wallets. Well, when you focus too much on the transactional aspect of sales, you lose sight of their constraints, you lose sight of their goals, you lose sight of the pressures that they are facing. So you're not able to empathize with their world. And that means you'll not be able to speak to their context like you should. Now, let me tell you a story. I usually have people call me pitching their products or services. And there was this one time that this person called and they had introduced themselves and then mentioned the service they were trying to pitch to me. When I heard the service, it was completely not what my company offers. So the person thought we're into science laboratory stuff, equipment and all, and that is what they sell. And they were trying to get me to buy some stuff like that from them. But my company is rather into tech and software and all of that. But it seems because the naming was a bit similar, this is what they felt we do. So on the call, I simply asked, are you sure you know what we do? The person was like, yeah, you're into laboratory stuff and we also selling laboratory products. So I wanted to talk to you about what we have. And if the person just took some time to do some background checks, just to confirm and know exactly what our world is about, then it would have been easier to speak to my context. Probably that call will not even happen because the person doesn't have products that I am interested in to buy. So that entire call was completely useless because my world was not about science laboratory stuff, and that is what the person was selling. So care more about their world, if you think about what their pressures and constraints are, what their goals are, then it will be easier to speak to their context. Let's go to the second one. So the second one says, care more about the problem than the pitch. So the problem and not the pitch. Okay, what does this mean? For every transaction or every sale to go through, there's a particular problem that a prospect is trying to solve or overcome. So the reason that sales or a transaction is happening because they have been able to believe that the amount of money that is required to solve that problem is way lower than the benefit that they gain if they're able to solve that problem. So sales has to be a conversation about what the problem is that the person is trying to solve or overcome. And once that is the focus, sales becomes easy because you're not too worried about what it is that you have to say or pitch, but you're just trying to uncover what the pain points are. Again, a similar story in this line. Someone else called me, and this time around, the person was calling for, let's say, XYZ company. And when I picked up, the person seemed to be going through a script. So it was more like, good morning, my name is XYZ, and I'm calling you for ABC company. But what happened was, I wasn't getting the name of the company really well. So I would ask, okay, what's the name of the company again? Then I noticed the person would clear their throat and start the entire script again. So they'll be like, good morning. My name is XYZ. I'm calling you from ABC, and I want to tell you about our services. Still, I wasn't getting the name of the company. So I asked again, sorry, I did not catch the company name. And funny enough, they went back, cleared their throats, and started the script again. Good morning. My name is XYZ, and I'm calling you from ABC company. I want to speak to you about our services. So it became a bit awkward, right? And I just had to let it go and have a conversation so it ends quickly. Sales is not about the script. It's not about the perfect pitch that you need to deliver at the end of the day to win the transaction. It's simply about the problem that you're trying to solve for a particular person. So it's always good to do some good research and have some background about the person so that just you have a fair idea of what problem may be in their focus area that they want to solve, that your solution can help with. And it makes the conversation more natural and easier to progress. Okay, so let's go to the third one. The third one says, care more about whether they're a good fit rather than whether they will buy. Whether they're a good fit rather than whether they're going to buy. So, good fit and not whether they buy. All right, so what does this mean? For every solution that you have to sell, you are looking at a particular persona. There's a target market for it. So target in terms of the size of the business or the stature of the person. There's a target in terms of the budget range that the person needs to have to be able to purchase what you have to sell. And there's also a fit in terms of how soon the person wants to purchase or solve whatever problem it is. So to position yourself to attract high quality clients and be able to sell better and sell more, then you need to have a process where you qualify clients. By that, you are vetting them. You're trying to find out whether the solution that you have will bring the most value to their case scenario. So, good fit rather than whether they are going to buy. So, you're going to be more concerned about what the filters are, and you're trying to characterize this prospect to know whether the product or the service you have will benefit them the most. All right. So the final one is to care more about delivering the right outcome rather than closing the sale. So you care more about delivering the right outcome, delivering the right outcome and not just closing the sale. Okay, so when we are selling, we are trying to understand the current situation that a person is in, so where they are right now, and where they want to get to, where they want to be. And then we are trying to discover what is stopping them, or what is that obstacle that is not making them get to where they want to be. So in that case, then we need to care about delivering the right outcome for that prospect. So at the end of the day, if the destination you take them to is not a destination they are looking for, then what you would have done is just to waste everybody's time, waste money, waste effort, and there'll be frustration all around. So we are caring more about delivering the right outcome, not just closing the sale. So in this case, you're not just going to be about the invoice or the money that you need to charge, but you also trying to make sure that at the end of the day, the results that you produce is exactly what the customer or the prospect is looking for. Now, this unlocks things like referrals and good testimonials and reviews about your product or your service because you simply cared more about the delivery of the final result or transformation more than just closing the sale. So all of these four are resting on just one concept, which is care more, and by that you'll be able to sell more. So care more and you will be able to sell more. So care more and you'll be able to sell more. So let's go through the four pillars or pieces quickly. So you need to care more about their world, not just their wallets. Then you need to care more about the problem that they are trying to solve, not just the pitch that you need to deliver or go through. And the third one is you need to care more about whether they're a good fit for your business, for your solution or your product. And finally, you need to care more about delivering the right outcome and not just closing the sale. Now, when you put these things into practice, what you realize is that sales become conversations. They become very simple to go through rather than a high pressure environment and some sort of tension that you need to have and fear in your heart just to be able to go through certain steps to deliver the right kind of pitch. So let's implement this, care more to sell more, and you realize the sales become really, really easy. To wrap up, if you want to sell more to high quality clients, then you need to remember this, that selling is more of an act of service. So if you are too self-centered or selfish, then selling becomes more and more difficult. So you need to care more if you want to sell more. Care more about their world, care more about the problem that they want to solve, care more about whether they're a good fit for your solution or your offer, and also care more about delivering the right outcome for their context. And once you care more, you'll definitely sell more and sell better. If you found this video helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.